everyone. Hello, welcome back to the Last Shot podcast, which is a day late. I do apologise, but I wasn't really up to recording yesterday and Stefan wasn't feeling very well. So we just do it today.
Yep.
Yes, we've got some very interesting topics to talk about today. We've got stuff that happened on Monday Night Raw, the state of what they're doing with Aleister Black and Ricochet and Elias, and Fastlane, because a lot happened at Fastlane to talk about.
Yeah, do we want to start with, Kurt Angle retirement at WrestleMania?
Yes, it was announced that Kurt Angle is going to be retiring at WrestleMania 35. Which, damn.
Which, he did everything. It was kind of expecting. I was kind of expecting that because if you see, he is not in the shape that he was before. So, and he is old. So, he did everything he could so far.
Exactly. I'm glad he's taking the time leaving now. He'll probably still be backstage in WWE. He ain't going anywhere from WWE.
Yeah, I'm actually hearing. I don't know if you want to see this. I'm actually hearing we may get Kurt Angle against The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Wow.
Because I don't know how will that go, but
terrible.
I'm actually hearing it.
It will go terrible, but if they're going to end it, they might as well just end Kurt Angle going against The Undertaker and end both of their careers at the same time.
Maybe, but Kurt Angle, at this point, the guy can barely walk.
I know, it's not going to be
and
good.
that's not a knock on Kurt Angle. He was great before. Dude, he had those great matches with Lesnar before, back in 2000, and he had a lot of great matches, but this is definitely, his last WrestleMania, and he needs to have a great match, in my opinion, against someone to go out on a great way.
Exactly. I think they'll give him a good opponent. Maybe John Cena? Because John Cena's scheduled to have a match at Mania.
Yeah, and they have a history.
John
Cena made a debut against Kurt Angle, so we can see that happening.
Yeah, it'd be definitely honourable for the guy who helped him start his career. He's going to end that guy's career. That would be quite...
Yeah, but also, we need to talk about later about Samoa Joe. I don't know if John Cena will actually go against Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. So if that is happening, I don't know against who Kurt Angle can go.
Exactly. I've heard about the John and Samoa Joe, which will be really good if it happens, because both are really, really good wrestlers. God knows who Kurt's going to face. It's going to face Heath Slater. Actually, I'd like that match. I like Heath Slater.
Maybe, who would be great? EC3, maybe.
Yeah, that would be good. Put him over massively.
I know he's not basically right now. I know EC3 is not. He didn't do much, but Kurt Angle and EC3 had a lot of history in TNA before coming to WWE.
But I'd say so. It'd definitely be good. It maybe put Roman Reigns against him. It would be a good win for Roman Reigns.
I don't want to see that match.
No, I don't either, but that's something that Vince would do. Kurt's going, goddammit! We'll put it against Reigns!
That will be a 20-second squash match.
Yeah, literally
Superman punch, spear, that's all.
I know.
And to be honest, I don't really want to see Kurt in a 10-minute match or longer. I don't want to see that.
Definitely not. Then let's go on to a weird fact about Monday Night Raw. Braun Strowman destroyed a car on Monday Night Raw. It was to promote a Braun Strowman figure that comes with a car.
It's sad because the guy was a top guy for some time and they killed everything they did with him. So with this, I don't really care about him anymore. He's good, don't get me wrong, but they had opportunities to give him, and every opportunity against Lesnar, if you remember, they screwed up.
To be fair, the last time he faced Lesnar, he had an injury, so they weren't going to put the title on him. It's kind of every time he's had a match, he's been injured before, so it's kind of partly WWE's fault, partly just shit happening kind of thing.
I mean, usually the guys that are his size and height, I mean, basically every one of them, look at the Big Show, for example. A lot of them do not have, championships runs, and so it's kind of sad because obviously Strowman can't wrestle the same way as Rollins. He has a different wrestling style, so
most definitely. Most definitely, but he still shouldn't be getting. It still should be getting better than what he gets because he's amazing and he's over.
Yes, but if they can, they already, in my opinion, they already killed him.
Yeah, I think there was already a decision saying, "He'll never get over, damn it! He'll never be good as my Roman Reigns."
That's it. And for a fact, just so people know, when we are talking about Roman Reigns, we are talking about Roman Reigns. We are not talking about Joe and I. We are separating those two because Joe and I is the man and Roman Reigns is the character. So exactly. I just want that to be clear.
Exactly. But yeah, shame about everyone. Then
okay.
Bloody hell. Harlem Heat is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. If you didn't know, they are one of the most popular and dominant tag teams in WCW in the 90s, consisting of Booker T and his brother Stevie Ray.
Yeah, and in my opinion, they were a great tag team before Booker T's career really started to be, and they deserve, in my opinion, and it's just great, it will be great for them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that the scene doesn't that make Booker T a 2-time Hall of Famer? I swear he's already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear.
Same with Shawn Michaels, because DX is going again. I mean, Shawn Michaels is going again in Hall of Fame with DX.
Yeah, so that will make 3 2-time Hall of Famers.
Yeah, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, and Booker T.
Damn, that's good.
Is that? I mean, I don't know if we can say anything more about that. I will definitely advise people who didn't see Harlem Heat matches to go on and check out, because that was basically a tag team when Booker T's career started, so they can check that out because it was really fun. There is really some great matches.
Yeah, there's definitely if you've got the network, they're all on there in the WCW section.
Yeah, and network is $9.99. I mean, for that money, you really can't complain.
It's like 20,000 hours of content or something like that that's on there.
Even if you're getting WWE Network only for one monthly pay-per-view, it's still worth it.
About to say, it's cheaper than buying it in America or UK even, because it's like £17.50 over here to buy a pay-per-view.
To buy a pay-per-view in America is like $40-50, so it's really worth it. One thing I need to say about that: if you want the great quality, then you buy a pay-per-view. And years before I was buying the pay-per-views for WrestleMania because I really wanted that quality. But again, for this money you're getting for $9.99, that's a great price. You can't really complain about that.
Yeah, but you got to think they have 1.2 million subscribers or something like that, so they're getting more buy rate if the people use the network than they are with the pay-per-view buys. Because I think, what was it? Most is 1 million for a Mania. So they've got more people watching Mania on the network than they've ever had for a pay-per-view buy rate. So it works out. I know it's a little less money, but you've got more people watching your product, so more sponsorships,
which
more
is
this.
More important.
Just makes more advertisements. You can say, look, I've got 1.2 million people here watching this show every year.
And then you still have people who buy pay-per-view. So at the end of the day, you're still getting a good amount of money there.
Yeah, well, you get people who share the network. Like I share it with, I think, 4 different people. So you still got 4 people watching on one network, so it's still good. But yes.
What we have to talk about that.
Now, just a quick sad note, if you haven't heard, Yamaguchi-san from the Attitude Era has passed away. He was the guy who tried to choppy off the PP of Val Venus. It's a very sad time in the wrestling business because he was one hell of a manager.
That's I'm actually not really, I know who he is, but I don't really know him good, so I can't really say much. But it's sad to hear this because I've seen some of his work on YouTube, and it's definitely, it's definitely sad to see him.
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Then we move on to the host of WrestleMania is going to be Alexa Bliss. So I'm going to assume she's not clear for in-ring competitor.
She is not. She suffered one injury, I think. Maybe I don't know what was. Maybe I don't remember, but I know that she suffered the injury again. So she's definitely not clear right now.
Yeah. Oh well. It'd be nice to have her there anyway. And then
who?
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. Do you know who I like to see as hosts, as WrestleMania hosts? Christian and Edge. That would be great.
Oh, definitely. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Why don't they use them guys more? They're both under WWE contract.
Because I think Edge doesn't want. He feels bad because he retired, so he feels bad that he is around wrestling if he can't wrestle. So I really can't. I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah. Definitely.
So we have to discuss. This is also what I want to discuss is Elias.
Yes, Elias. What the hell are they doing with Elias? He is over with the crowd. Hell of over with the crowd. A great wrestler. Look at that match with Roman Reigns a few months ago on Monday Night Raw. He had a hell of a match. He's a fantastic wrestler. Can talk. He's basically a modern day Rock.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't know what they're doing with him. This is a more serious thing to discuss because they had a guy lose every feud so far. They're doing, those skits with him or we had him like 4 times playing a guitar on Fastlane last night. I don't know. It was. I think they are overdoing that a little bit, and in my opinion, he went from babyface from heel to babyface, from heel to babyface. I don't really know what he is anymore, and it's really sad to see him this way because he deserves better.
Yeah. He definitely deserves better. Which is a shame because I don't think they'll ever... Has he been Intercontinental Champion? I swear they put it on him for like 3 weeks.
I don't think so. I don't remember, which is sad. And Intercontinental Championship is, in my opinion, right now, that title is almost dead. They had Finn Balor hold it, and Finn Balor, and he didn't even defend the title. He didn't have any reign. So they basically give the title back to Bobby Lashley, which it doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh God, no, definitely not. But hopefully Elias eventually they'll do something decent with him.
And I'm sorry. It's a little bit of delay, so
it's fine.
Yeah. Continue, sir.
But Elias will hopefully get done. But the last thing to talk about Monday Night Raw, well, one more other thing, but this is the main important thing, that Triple H vs Batista has been confirmed for WrestleMania and will be a no-holds-barred match, which I, personally, am looking very forward to because that will be fucking amazing.
Yeah, and that promo with Batista and Triple H, in my opinion, was hilarious. I want to tell everyone, go and see that promo if you didn't see it so far, because that's something that's really hilarious. And also, it's a great promo. If you give a mic to Triple H, the guy can never do wrong, man. No. He's one of the best promo guys ever.
Yeah.
Same goes for Batista.
Yeah. Have I got your attention now? Ha! Fucking that segment was amazing. But yeah, it's going to be a good match. I didn't think Triple H would be healed in time for Mania due to his injury.
He will be a babyface. he will be a babyface right now.
Batista is a heel, obviously. To be fair, that's why it didn't make sense that they brought him back in 2014 as a babyface. Because Batista is shit as a babyface.
Yeah, I prefer Batista as heel, definitely. That's no question for me.
No. Now, I just want to go on a little bit of a rant about Dana Brooke.
Okay, go on.
First off, she put on her Instagram page regarding Facebook, regarding Fastlane, sorry. Current mood, pay-per-view in my hometown Cleveland and not used. Okay, WWE Fastlane Raw, Dana Brooke, mood pissed off. And then she comes out and says, I know I'm not on TV, but I should be, blah, blah, blah. You're not on TV, Dana, because you're shit. There's no two ways around this. Dana Brooke has not got anything interesting about herself in this wrestling business. She is bland. She's not the greatest worker. Her promos are shit. There is just no redeeming qualities about her at all. And yet she seems to get shoehorned into these promos and thing with big people. I mean, I hate Ronda Rousey in the wrestling business. I mean, person, she's fine, but as a character on WWE, she's a bit meh. I was rooting for Ronda Rousey to kick the shit out of her last night. I mean, I was happy that she was beating her up, for God's sake.
Here's the thing. If me and Tom were running WWE, I think the first thing, the Dana Brooke will probably get the termination papers in like first week, man.
Definitely. I still don't get how she has a job with the company.
I forgot that I didn't know that she's still employed, which is sad.
Because she's not good. I mean, I would say she's underutilised, but she's just not good enough to get utilised in anything in the first place.
No, definitely not.
Which is sad.
Sad. It's sad.
At least they sent out her to get demolished by Ronda.
That last night didn't make any sense with Ronda. I mean, I love to see Ronda beat the shit out of her, but that didn't make any sense.
No. Definitely not.
It was so random.
But, well, speaking of women, we have two major points concerning women regarding the WWE. First report is that WWE is pushing for the November Saudi Arabia show to feature a female match. Which would be amazingly historic in the terms of Saudi Arabia if they managed to do an all-women's match. But
it would be.
What was the world? They went to another part of the world that was like that, and they had to wear all bodysuits, didn't they?
I don't really remember, to be honest with you. That was a house show, I think.
No, it was a house show, but it was like it was a house show, but women wrestled on it, and it was part of like that area that didn't really like women that much.
Maybe.
I can't.
I can't remember else.
It was one of them kind of like Middle Eastern countries. It's got 3 letters.
3 letters. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Maybe Abu Dhabi. Yeah, Abu Dhabi. House show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Here it is.
Yeah, they had to wear full bodysuits.
Yes. And if they can make history there, they can definitely make history in Saudi Arabia. But, again, you gotta keep in mind.
Now, look.
They're really strict there, so...
I will like to mention this before we continue, that TNA did put on a women's match in Abu Dhabi first. Just so we can get the right part of history. WWE wasn't the first to do it, because you know what they like to lie. But still, for WWE it was the first female match, so it's still impressive that they managed to get a female match in that part of the world.
It is.
If they do it in Saudi Arabia, because you know the KSA, which is the sports league over there, even got pissed off when WWE women featured in a promo, like a video package. So it's going to be historic if they agree to actually let the women wrestle.
I would love to see that.
I think they should.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, get them to put bodysuits on if that's your preference, because if you don't want women to show skin, then yeah, fair point. I'm not going to judge you on your culture like that, but it's a wrestling match, for God's sake.
At the end of the day, Saudi Arabia is paying WWE, and if they don't want to do it, they won't do it. So it's all up to them.
I know.
At the end of the day.
It'd be nice if they do it, though.
I agree.
And then, speaking of that, and speaking of Saudi Arabia, the first woman to go over there was Renee Young, who is also being considered pulled off the Raw commentary team.
Okay, this is my opinion right now about this, but in my personal opinion, she's not bringing anything to the team, announcer teams. So, honestly, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't really have a problem with that.
Well, I do and I don't. I mean, to be fair, commentary is not easy, especially WWE commentary, because you've got Vince McMahon in your ear all the whole bloody time. It's going to be hard.
Jesus Christ.
But I think it is always nice to have a female perspective on the commentary. But maybe just not Renee Young, maybe another female.
Maybe Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, that would be really good, because she's good on commentary when she's there part-time. Because I feel like Renee only speaks up when it comes to Dean Ambrose.
Which is strange. She's like silent.
Yeah, she's silent, and then as soon as Dean comes out, she just has a full-blown conversation about it.
Yeah, I don't know if you agree with me about this, but I would personally love to see, do you remember back in the day when they had only 2 people in the announce team?
Yes, I missed that so badly.
That's better. That's so better in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Don't need 3 people on a commentary team. You do not.
When we are talking about commentary also right now, I want to add something. I don't know if it's strange to me personally, but I really can't get used to Michael Cole calling Aleister Black and Ricochet matches. It's really strange to me.
Mauro Ranallo all the way, guys.
What?
Yeah, just put Mauro Ranallo on the commentary by himself and he'll do amazing.
The guy's great. I would love to see if Michael Cole, I don't know if you actually heard this, but also Michael Cole may be leaving soon commentary.
Yeah, I've heard that rumour, but then again, that's been going around for about 2 years. So...
Actually, his contract is ending soon, in 2 months, for that.
Ew.
That's actually...
I know he wanted to go to a backstage role more than being on commentary, because then again...
If that happens, I want to see Mauro Ranallo replace him.
Yeah, I want Mauro Ranallo to just replace everybody. Put Nigel McGuinness and Mauro Ranallo on every commentary team. Because those two are fucking amazing.
Hey,
and then the commentary would be good.
Screw everyone else. Just give him Nigel McGuinness and...
Bring Taz back. Taz was good.
It was great. You know who was also great? Jesse Ventura, back in the day.
Yeah, he was good.
Remember we was
Put Vince McMahon back on commentary, for God's sake.
I'm betting he will do a better job in the commentary than backstage right now.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Phillips isn't too bad. Corey Graves is just getting really obnoxious.
When you have when you have Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon in your ear, it's hard, man. I really can't imagine that.
Oh no. To be fair, Corey Graves just got really obnoxious. I mean,
he was great before.
He's still good. Just it's when certain people come out, he gets really annoying, especially when it's Mandy Rose. If it's a female woman, he gets really fucking annoying.
Yeah, do you know what I find funny about commentary? Remember when Shane at WrestleMania 32 when Shane jumped from Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
Michael Cole was literally holding a script in front of his hand, like.
For the love of mankind!
You have to be a fucking idiot to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the commentary table has been destroyed, so you have no choice.
The guys are in front of you. What the fuck are you reading a script? I mean, it's crazy. That's funny. Anyways.
Bloody hell. There you go, we've had a bit of a roundabout commentary as well on this podcast. then let's just talk about Fastlane, because a few good things happened. First off, the Shane McMahon Miz segment.
Yeah.
The match was okay, but the turn, the turn was amazing.
What's the second thing?
What second thing?
Said.
Got to talk about the Kofi thing.
Yeah, and another thing is Ricochet and Aleister Black. I'm so glad they didn't get pinned in the match.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I kind of just wish after the match Aleister Black had just hit Ricochet with a black mass and walked off.
That was actually possible. Because
That could have happened. I was just attack him, Aleister, for God's sake. Just attack Ricochet and set up a rivalry between you two, please.
Yeah, do you remember if when Revival retained the titles after the match, Aleister Black and Ricochet cleaned the ring basically out, with finishers and everything.
Yeah, I was expecting Aleister to do it to Ricochet.
Yeah, it would be great if he hit Ricochet with Black Master there. But again, you have to keep in mind they're working on 2 brands right now, 3 brands. They are working in NXT, so it wouldn't make any sense right now to turn it.
No, but just do something, please.
And since we are talking about Aleister Black and Ricochet, what do you think about this? Do you want to see him as tag team or no? Because personally, I want to see him as singles guys. This is waste.
Definitely single stars. It's too much of a waste of talent to have them as competitors in a tag team division.
Here's my idea. At NXT TakeOver, give him the Dusty Classic, give him a win there. The next night at WrestleMania, have them beat Revival for tag titles, and then you can just turn Black on Ricochet. Black can be like, I'm wasting my time with you. I can go on bigger and better things. So why would I waste time with you?
Exactly.
That's basically the thing they can do.
Now, what's your thoughts on Rusev and Nakamura being a tag team?
That match on pre-show was actually pretty good. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, by the look of it, I think they're going into a rivalry with a New Day. Judging by what happened in Kofi's match.
By the look of it, I think Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura will be leaving soon.
Yeah, but by what I've seen, yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, Shinsuke Nakamura, the guy doesn't look at all like Shinsuke Nakamura 2 years ago.
No.
It's sad. It's really sad to see what they did to him. And if you remember that match, Sami Zayn against Nakamura, do you remember that in NXT maybe?
I do. That was a fucking great match.
That was a great match, and
I miss Sami.
It's so sad what they did to Nakamura, and I really hope he goes away. What else he can do in WWE if they don't want to give him an opportunity?
I don't know.
It's sad. It's really sad. And I would love to see dream matches. Nakamura. I'm talking about Nakamura from 2 years ago, not this Nakamura. This is a completely different guy right now. Nakamura, imagine this: Shinsuke against Adam Cole, Shinsuke against Ricochet, Shinsuke against who else? Johnny Gargano. Imagine that. That would be great.
Shinsuke versus a dummy. Anything. Just put Shinsuke against something good.
Yeah.
The guy is amazing. I've seen bits and pieces of his work.
Right now, it seems like he doesn't care at all.
Oh no, he's getting paid to do jack shit. To be fair, I want to be in his position.
Yeah. Anyways, let's continue.
Obviously, the Shane Miz heel turn, which we were talking about, the double turn technically, was amazing. Well thought out.
Great. And usually I prefer Miz as heel, but this was so great that it was so perfect.
Oh, definitely. Definitely perfect. Loved every minute of it.
And Shane as heel, he's great, man. That heel turn was so great. What?
I think this is the first time in Shane's career he's been a heel, really.
No, he was a heel when back in the day, also when
Oh yeah, when he was going against DX with his dad.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really call that a heel, though. I'd call that more of a tweener.
Actually, he was a heel. He was when he was training Vince McMahon for Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was actually a heel by then.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But I mean, it wasn't a vicious heel like that was.
I mean, listen, for newer fans right now who didn't see Shane as heel, this is probably a shock to them. So right now, Miz is the biggest babyface in my opinion in the company, next to Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, them two are rivaling it, and both of it happened at the show. But the good thing is, with the Miz turn, they could have done it with Mandy and Sonya literally 5 minutes later, but they didn't, thank God. Because it will be so
boring. It will be rinse and repeat again.
To be fair, I'm glad they didn't do it. I think Mandy will turn on Sonya at some point. But
I want to see Mandy as babyface. I don't know why. I mean...
Well, Sonya attacked Mandy then.
Yeah.
They're like, why do you get all the opportunities? Why am I sitting there on the sidelines cheering for you and I get nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. That will be... You know, and... it's... I don't know what can I say anymore. It's... I don't know.
The last thing to talk... Well, let's just get the Becky-Charlotte match out of the way, because that was...
Hey, I told you what's going to happen. I was right. Ronda Rousey was, she interrupted the match and...
Oh, she landed one punch in Becky. The referee just looked like, what the fuck is going on? And then Vince was screaming down the mic, call for the battle, damn it! Maybe the match to Becky!
I'm going to get a little bit heat for this, maybe, from Becky Lynch fanboys and fangirls, but... I'm gonna be honest. Becky Lynch right now, in my opinion, is slowly beginning to get stale, and I'm not joking right now. I'm really not joking, because did you see that limping when she did and that crutch? I think that was a little bit too much.
Yeah, it makes sense in the story though.
Yeah, and I don't really like I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Becky. I mean, who doesn't like Becky? I just think that WWE, when they have something great, they have to push it so far down our throats to the point where we get sick of that. That's what I hate about it.
I don't think anyone is getting sick of Becky, though. I know I'm not. But
I'm just saying they need to be very careful with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Can we just appreciate how well they've actually built this WrestleMania Triple Threat match with them, though? How well they've actually built the story. Slow, over a few months. It's actually been really, really good booking. Same with Miz and Shane McMahon. Same with this Kofi, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens thing going on. They're actually doing half-decent stories at the minute.
Yeah, and I want to be clear about anything. I never said that I hate Becky, because... I think she's great. I just said that I didn't really like that limping at Fastlane. I was thinking that's maybe too much, but other than that, I'm perfectly fine with storytelling that they're trying to tell right now. So I really hope they give her a title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I just love Ronda's motives. Like, I don't want you, Charlotte. I want Becky, but I'm glad they didn't make Charlotte make Ronda do anything more than just one punch to get disqualification, because. It was a subtle point of it, which was nice. It wasn't over the top brawling. It was literally just like I want Becky in this match. I'm going to punch her. There you go, disqualification. I've got the match I want.
Yeah, and simple. Here is it. I actually heard from some people telling me, Ronda Rousey went off the script. She was like, fuck fans, fuck everyone else. I'm just going to tell you right now, that's all work. She's not really going off the script. That's all planned.
Yeah, and damn good, weren't it? It was actually good heel promo from her.
She's better as heel than babyface.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I respect her more as a heel.
Yeah, and I think maybe after WrestleMania we can maybe build up that match. Four horsewomen against NXT horsewoman. Basically, if they bring up Shayna Baszler from NXT, they can reunite with Ronda. That will be way to go.
Maybe Survivor Series though, because that's when you kind of have teams go against each other.
Yeah. Hey, here's another thing I want to talk about, because I really have news on this, and I have from personal sources, I have this. Yeah. And this is about Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
They don't want to give Kofi a title. They don't have plans to give him a title, which is strange. But listen, hear me out. What they're trying to do is have Daniel Bryan retain at WrestleMania and make him a big heel. I don't know who wants to see that, but they need to be very careful what they're doing, because everyone, including me, wants to see Kofi right now as champion.
Yeah, but then again, they never wanted to give Daniel Bryan a championship, and look how that happened.
Yeah, so I'm just going to tell everyone, if we get Kofi Kingston against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, do not be surprised if Daniel Bryan walks out as WWE champion. And by the way, like I said, I have sources from this, so I'm not speaking from my opinion. I'm just saying, I know people from WWE, and Tom knows that I'm not joking. I know people. So don't be surprised if Daniel Bryan retains at WrestleMania against Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, but I think Kofi's definitely the perfect babyface to go against him after WrestleMania.
He is, but imagine
I feel like the story shouldn't end there. It's really good. I think it should end at SummerSlam.
They can easily screw up that, because they can have Big E turn on Kofi. They can easily screw that up, and they need to be careful with this.
Definitely. But let's talk about the Kofi situation at Fastlane. If you haven't watched Fastlane, Kofi went to Vince McMahon's office, went in and went, I want my match in the title match. Well, more Xavier Woods said that, and Kofi just stood there like, okay. And then they made him go out there, saying it's a triple threat match. Then the Bar came out and destroyed him. And you cannot believe the amount of support Kofi got. Damn, the support from Kofi. They also set up Rusev and Nakamura versus the rest of the New Day after that, because they came and attacked the New Day.
It was great. And, when they added Mustafa Ali in that triple threat WWE Championship match, I gotta give it to him, man. Mustafa Ali is amazing. In my opinion.
Definitely.
The guy is amazing. At the beginning, they were booing him. They were against him. At the end of the match, he proved everyone wrong.
Oh, definitely. I personally know how good Mustafa Ali is, which I'm glad he's on SmackDown now, because 205 Live was not the platform for him to get.
And by the way, while we're talking about Kofi right now, I want to say something. Yep. You said that you would like to see their feud go until SummerSlam, right?
Yeah.
So imagine this. Did you hear the news that Big E wants to go, New Day against Undisputed Era? They want that feud. Did you hear that?
No, I haven't.
You didn't hear that. So Big E literally came out and said that he wants a feud against Undisputed Era. So now imagine this. Imagine if Kofi Kingston wins at SummerSlam. And let's say Adam Cole drops the title to someone at SummerSlam. At TakeOver. And imagine after SummerSlam if New Day feuds with Undisputed Era. So we have Kofi Kingston as WWE champion, and we have Xavier Woods and Big E as tag champions against Undisputed Era. Would you like to see that or not?
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, and that will be really good. Anyways, what else we have? One thing I have to say. I'm really sorry about this, because I don't really feel good right now. And I know Tom last night didn't feel good also. So I'm really sorry if I'm speaking too fast, or I'm having a headache, so.
Yeah, I'm just appreciating how good Vince McMahon is in this Kofi story as well. Because you need the perfect villain to go against the babyface. I mean, I know it's the classic whole they're holding Kofi back thing, but it's really been effectively done here. A story like that is timeless if you can do it right.
I gotta be honest. I don't agree with Vince McMahon, but I do like Mr. McMahon character. I really like that.
I feel like if it wasn't Vince McMahon doing this and Kofi actually got his match, it would have just been, it's over. But they've carried the story on and doing a really good thing for SmackDown. Because I'm intrigued to watch tonight to see what happens when Kofi confronts Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I really want to see that. One more thing, I don't know if anyone realized this, but there was some rumors about Vince being late at creative meetings for about an hour. So writers waited for him. I don't know if you heard that, but when Kofi went, to the locker room to see Vince was like, "Oh man, I'm waiting for you for an hour." So that was shot against reality.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to calm down a little bit. I'm a mess.
I like that. But yeah, I think we're about done. We've got SmackDown tonight, and we'll be back to our usual Mondays next week. I do apologise for the day late podcast today. I have one idea for next week. Yeah.
I want to make next week podcast better. So I want everyone in the comment section to put some comments, some questions for me and Tom, and we will answer that. I really want to make podcast better than it's right now. If you want to do that, Tom,
I like that idea. Yes, please leave us some questions. It can be non-wrestling related. It can be wrestling related.
A little Q&A.
Yeah, a little Q&A every week, I think, would be a good idea. Just take a few questions from the audience.
At the end of the show every week, so that will be better. And I really want to make this production of the podcast better, because for right now, we're just, we have a regular... It's nothing special, so I really want to make better in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So yes, please leave us some questions for next week's podcast on this podcast comments or on any video, and I'll put them in like a big list. And then yes, definitely. But yeah, this has been this week's edition of the Last Shot podcast. Day late.
Subscribe to Tom.
Yes, make sure you subscribe, if you want to support. We have channel membership where you can see videos early and get a special badge and everything. Special emojis.
Listen.
Yeah.
You need to finish this, this video as Vince McMahon. We can go generic way. You need to go Vince McMahon.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel or you'll get fired. Alright, see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.